We have a podcast, and the podcast is called The 4 a.m. Report, and it's about what keeps marketers and founders up at night. It is a podcast with about 90 odd episodes right now. And the sort of signature question that we ask in the podcast is, what keeps you up at night? Are you walking, Annie? And that's a question that has sort of gone further into our business model, quite simply because it has now become what we ask in discovery calls. We talk through some of those problems in our discussion documents, which is, again, a part of the process. And then we deliver those in a sort of custom presentation that's sent through like a proposal software. All our proposals are purely solicited and not cold. We've got extensions to the podcast that we're doing, a property that we're starting to call Thirsty Thursday, the 4 p.m. report after show, drawing from the entertainment space and putting together like a little video at the end of the show. And from it has come this focus on figuring out what's happening now, like that newsjacking, reactive social perspective in which we look at the news, look at the marketing stuff that's happened over the course of the week. And the co-host of the podcast and co-founder of the company, Lamont, and I sort of quickly comment on the news. So that's a second part. Heavily focused on content, extendable, and a case study of the way in which we do things for ourselves so that people are able to see what can happen for them. We've brought in some of that deep psychographic focus from working with founders in this gritty space, and applied it to like actually asking people that. And it's funny, it's amazing how people want to answer that question. Like if you ask them what keeps you up at night, rarely will you get someone who doesn't answer it. If nothing, they'll give you a bit of humor about how they sleep really well, or they have a toddler or a dog that keeps them up. Even at very small stages, we've been reasonably good at this. Being able to connect with people that we've worked with in the past, keep in touch with them, continue to show them the way in which your brain operates. And one of the ways in which we do that, like bear in mind that some of the corporate leads that we work with, or even smaller business, these women-owned business clients that have moved on to the next level of needing e-commerce providers, etc. How do we keep in touch with them? Really, because we tap into our DNA of being able to research, find stories, comment on it on the fly, not be terribly afraid of bringing our personality. We tend to show that a little bit in finding those pieces that might relate to their journey, whatever's happening with them, sending it off to them with like a carefully customized. This is nothing new. It's just that it's very new to our target audience, that this is affordable to them with a single accountable one stop. The buck stops with me. What we're trying to do to engage different audiences, partly because we found that a lot of corporate companies want to work with us purely because of our expertise in this area. The fact that we know how to take somebody with no audience or a very tiny audience and grow that thought leadership way beyond that brand, I think attracts corporate leads to us as well. So we were like, how do we work that in? And one of the things that we've started to do is the tiniest of germinating ideas, and this is where I think we need to build it up some more and put some effort, is those roundtables and those events in which we bring these people back together. The avatar in which we are currently doing it is a book club. Bring people together, exchange of ideas. Obviously wrapped up in that is showing people a little bit of our brilliance, not just in the thinking, but beyond that in the ability to execute these cool virtual events.